Of hearing it.
Never been louder.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Scott.
Happy anniversary.
Welcome today.
Fulton,
Beautiful
it's
day.
so good to see you.
You too, sir. You too.
So we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about regenerative medicine?
Hell yeah.
You want to talk about hormone replacement therapy?
Yes.
You want to talk about vitamin infusions?
Absolutely.
I know you want to talk about politics.
We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about, brother.
There's so much to talk about.
It's your world.
And we might have somebody coming in later on.
Okay. Special guest.
Well, you said it's taking you a little bit to figure all this out. You got it figured out?
You know what? In my mind, here's what I see. Okay, because it's extremely confusing right now. And you watch the mainstream media, and that's what their intention is to do, is to confuse you. Okay? So what we're looking at and what we're seeing is the Trump administration is trying to prove the illegitimacy of this election. They are trying to prove where the absentee ballot did not work properly, where the mail-in ballot did not work properly, where dead people have voted.
Now explain that to me, please. I heard you guys talking about it.
Yes.
Dead people voting.
Dead people voting. So there are people who have lived in the United States who have not been recorded in the voter registration as deceased, and somebody's voting under their name, their identity. That's what's taking place
100%.
there. 100%. And who do you think those votes are going to?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'd be willing to bet they're not going to President Trump.
They are not.
They're not.
Nope.
So they got proof of these ballots.
Yes.
So they should know who they're going to.
Yes. And that evidence.
That's the oldest trick in the book, isn't it?
Well, it all depends. I mean, think about this. What was it, Fulton, wasn't it? Was it Wisconsin that they had like so many registered voters, and then they come to find out they found 100,000 more that had voted that weren't registered?
Wow. So when a state has more voters than it has population, we have a problem.
Who do you know what to believe? Who do you know to believe?
You don't.
Who do you know?
You don't.
What do you know to believe?
You don't. You know, I'm unfortunately not in the position to have somebody sitting up there in Washington every week who, when something breaks, gives me a call so I got the inside scoop for us when we get here. So what I have to do is what every common man out there has to do as well. We have to study it. We have to do our research. We have to go on our gut instinct of what we feel, who we believe we are. Okay, as not only human beings, but American citizens. What is in this for us? Who do we want to be determines what we follow and what we believe in.
Okay, so say they do recount.
Okay.
How do you trust a recount?
I don't think it, you know what?
I mean,
I don't think it's going to matter. Deal? I don't think it's going to matter. I think that unfortunately for us, Biden is going to become president. Now, in saying that, I don't think Trump's going away. I actually think Trump stands a better chance to be more influential and more prosperous than he's ever been before after being president. Not while he's in the White House. President Trump gave his salary every year back to one of the divisions of the federal government. So he's not going away. What he's going to do if we can't get this election overturned, which I truly feel is going to be extremely difficult at this point, he is now going to be a non-presidential person who's going to be able to act more as an individual, as a U.S. citizen.
You think President Trump is going to be an activist?
Absolutely. Probably one of the largest we'll see in our lifetime. He's a fighter. He's a man of passion. He believes in what he does. He believes in us. He believes in the small guy.
That's what got him in all this.
That's what got him there.
Obama started a fight with him.
And you've got he did. He did pick a fight.
He said there's one thing you will not be, or I got over you.
Yeah, is president. And Trump said, I'll show you. So back at it, and we can move on past
How long
this.
are they going to drag this out?
Forever. It'll never end. It'll never go.
Well, it all depends. Here's the thing.
You mean the election?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else were we talking about?
Well, I was referring to the Trump administration and Trump's agenda and what Trump will end up doing through the rest of his lifetime.
Okay.
What they're actually hoping for, though, and we've talked about this, is that the Democrats are hoping that there'll be nobody elected until January. And then that's when the House will decide who the president is.
Yes, and Rick, I did that research, and actually, if the Speaker of the House was put into the presidential role, it would be an interim position to start.
Glad you made it, my man.
Yes, welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Nice haircut.
I follow you.
So, Paul's been a patient at the office.
Yes.
Talking, make sure you get in there.
Okay.
There you go.
So, Paul's been a patient at the office for what, maybe 3 months?
Oh, no. Only 6 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. We had dinner one night, and we were talking about regenerative medicine. And so anyway, Paul actually had regenerative medicine done
In Italy.
Hey, so, Paul, I've known you for only 6 weeks. I feel like I've known you for a lot longer, my man.
Okay.
So we just got through telling everybody that you had some stem cells done in Italy. I'll give a quick summary. I met Paul at dinner. We had dinner. We talked about stem cells. He said, hey, I've already had one knee done in Italy. And I need it done again, but there's things going on where I can't go to Italy. We're talking about COVID time, etc. And anyway, we started talking. He came into the office. We took a look at a few things, talked. He's been under treatment for 6 weeks. I feel like it was at least 3 months or longer.
Nope.
As far as his treatment goes, I feel like I've known him forever. Paul's a great guy. He's like me and you. He's for real.
Good deal.
He's for real. And he's good people. So anyway, tell us, so we met Italy. What you doing in Italy, by the way?
Well, I go there every year. I've been going for the past 7 years. I'm the minister of the Franciscans at St. Michael's Church here in Myrtle Beach. And naturally, we go to Assisi, Italy, where St. Francis was from. So I've been going there, made a lot of friends over there. So we've been going every year for 3 months usually and staying there. And now we can't go because it's closed. So I was going to go back and have the stem cell surgery done again. But 2 things went wrong. 1, COVID-19. And 2, the woman that recommended this doctor said he's under investigation and he's being sued by a couple of his patients. So she recommended I don't use him. So that's when I went to the meeting with Dr. Scott, and he opened my eyes to a couple of things I didn't know about. I didn't know that my stem cells are only, what'd you say, 40,000?
So
cells?
here's how I remember it. When we're over 60 years old, your stem cell is going to make it's going to replicate itself 200 times within 30 days. Under 60 years old, they're going to replicate 20,000 times.
Right.
And then the umbilical cord stem cells replicate 1 billion times within 30 days.
That caught my attention. When he said 1 billion, I said, I want that. So that's where we're at now. Hasn't happened yet, but we're hoping for the best here. They're telling me, his staff, that it takes anywhere from 1 to 3 months, and this is a little over a month now. So
about 6 weeks ago, you got the treatment. I see you in there doing your rehab religiously, and you're going to town.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, I'm doing what you want me to do, so
getting it done.
I'm hoping that it works out, and got my fingers crossed.
So I want to say we did a booster in the other knee, didn't we? Didn't we treat something else other than just that one knee?
Yeah, tell me what you're getting treated.
You did both knees, my back and my neck.
Okay,
yeah.
Full body.
And I got the trigger points this afternoon.
Okay, awesome.
Again.
Excellent. Just got him. He's feeling real good.
Yeah, you see, Paul looks like he looks like a killer in there doing that rehab. Got his knee. He looks like a Muay Thai kickboxer.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah, throwing his knees up, almost chest high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, can I ask how old are you?
Well, how old do you think I am?
I learned that from the women in my life, my mother and my sisters and my wife, that you always err on the downside.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm going to say somewhere around my age, 50.
He's sucking up. He's sucking up.
If that your age,
Yes.
you could be my son, because
Yes.
my son is 51.
Is it? Okay. Good deal. Good
I'm
deal.
76.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You look great. You look great.
Well, I'm very active. I've been a jock my whole life.
Okay.
And played basketball, football, baseball. I was in the minor leagues with the Cleveland Indians for 1 year.
Oh, wow.
And then the Army, Vietnam was on. So as soon as I got out, I had to join the Army or I was getting drafted. And they said, if you join the Army, you can pick where you want to go. And I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but I have a problem with my ears, and they negated me. So that never happened. So
when
I went to the Army, and I went into the Tank Corps. Patton's Division down in Fort Knox. I wanted to be a tank commander, and that's what I was. But I made the baseball team when I went down there. And I played 2 years in the Army, played baseball for 2 years.
Good deal.
My friends went to Vietnam.
Okay. Hey, yeah.
Not my choice.
So when did you start to do damage to your knees?
Well, like I said, I played baseball up until 2 years ago.
Okay.
With the over 50 league, and I was the starting third baseman and the second best player on the team, even though I was 74. But it happened on a golf course when I was driving a ball, and I thought somebody shot me in my left knee. I went down like a ton of bricks.
Did it sound like a shot too, or just felt like it?
Oh, no. I didn't hear anything, but I just felt the pain and dropped the club and went down in a pile, and the guys came over to pick me up. And I said, whoa, something happened. I went to the doctor, and they said, your whole knee is all torn up. Your cartilage is gone, and my kneecap was hitting bone on bone. And I've been in pain ever since.
How many years ago was that?
2. 2 years ago. And then last year, I went to Italy and got the stem cells done. But he said I would need it after a year again. So
that was I want to say you did the plasma stem cells, correct? You used your own,
yeah,
or the fat, the adipose.
They took the fat. They took liposuction.
And you got good results.
Yeah, I had immediate results, but within a year, I was back to where I was.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
From a year ago, and that's when I came to see you because I said I got to get it done.
Yeah, Dr. Scott and I have had that discussion many times, as we age and as he was saying over the age of 60 and how the cells replicate. Our own body, just doesn't produce what we know that cord blood product has in it. I mean, we all know childbirth is a very special time in life and a time of proliferation. It's a time of growth. So it is packed with the most nutrient that you could supply to the body.
It's the most powerful thing on the planet.
It is, and your results are so much longer lasting when you're able to go with that product. So you've got a lot to look forward to then for your age and as healthy as you have been, and Dr. Scott and I knowing how well this stuff works for you. You've got a lot of baseball left in you, Paul.
Yep. Well, we'll see. I'm a professional golf instructor, mostly for children. I work at Wizard and Man of War, and I do the kids' clinics on Monday night. So, and I play golf. I just stopped 3 times a week. I do it twice a week. I play with a league, and we play for money. So, and I'm a 4 handicap.
Wow!
Right now, so
awesome.
Where'd you first hear about the stem cells?
We got a thing in the mail.
No, where'd you hear about it before you got your first adipose treatment?
Well, I went to my doctor here in Myrtle Beach, which was Carolina Orthopedic, Dr. Michael. And he took the x-rays and he said, we're going to do both knees for you. And we'll put new knees on. I said, we'll slow down.
Knee replacement.
He says, knee replacement. I says, no, hold on. I says, isn't there a thing called stem cells? And he said, well, nobody does that. So this was 2 years ago. And I says, well, you don't do it. I says, but maybe I can find someone who could. So he said, no, you need new knees and replacements. And I did the fatal thing I think any doctor wouldn't do. I went on YouTube and I watched a knee replacement being done. I was sweating bullets. I just, there's no way I'm having this done. No way. It looked like butcher surgery. I said, I'm not having this done. So
it's quite invasive.
I went to Italy, and this woman who I was teaching golf to, I started teaching golf in Italy. And I had several people come to me. This one was a woman who blew her knee out playing tennis. She was 42 years old. And I said, could you ask if your doctor who did your surgery does stem cells? And she said, yeah, he does. That's why I went to him.
That's awesome. You dodged a bullet then, didn't you?
Yeah.
And to take that type of initiative to, track down, do the research and put the travel in to go have the procedure done, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Dr. Scott and I, we've pulled a lot of our initial research from international studies. So the United States was quite restricted for, basically 20 years on what was able to be done here. So we've been able to learn a lot internationally from what the other countries have advanced in stem cells and done. And probably still one of the largest differences you and I face in the current market is the expanding of cells. That's still not being done in the United States like it is overseas. But we do have the cell excretions, which is, going to be similar, not quite the same in reference to.
You're a smart man, Paul. Smart man. Paul's also pastor, a minister.
Yeah, I'm the minister of the Franciscans. That's the third order. That's the regular working people, and we take care of 4 charities here in Myrtle Beach. One is the men's shelter, New Directions, on right down the street, right around the corner here, and we take care of up to 200 homeless men. We feed them on Monday nights. We buy the food, cook the food, and we serve the food. We've been limited now. We're only giving them the food now, and they're cooking it because they don't want us in there.
Sure.
But I think that's going to change this month. We go at the end of the month, I think they said we can come in. They're putting plastic up, and we're going to wear the face shields. And then we take care of the Seacoast Youth Academy on Bay Road. That's a Bureau of Child Welfare facility that the kids are either physically, mentally, or sexually abused by a member of their family. And they're taken away by the courts, and they're put here. And they never go back to see their family again. They're not allowed to know where they are or anything, and they can't communicate or anything. So basically, we become the parents, their family. And I'm Santa Claus on Christmas morning.
That's awesome.
So,
nice.
And we take it. There's 64 kids in there, 32 girls and 32 boys.
Oh, wow.
And we take care of them. We buy them Christmas gifts and everything. So it's good. Very good. We're doing good.
That is good. You're a good man, Paul.
And we have 2 other international ones, so we take care of.
What do you think about all this mess we got going on in America? Actually, it's probably a global act.
Yeah, it is. Well, the COVID is all over the world.
Yeah, that's your story.
It's just horrible what's happened. And with the Democrats and the Republicans, I think what they should do is just dissolve all the party. Everybody's an independent. And you vote for who?
Hey, have I not been saying that for how long? No parties.
Yeah, no parties.
You just run as an American.
Crazy. Yeah. I don't want Democrat, Republican, Independent, Conservative. Forget it.
You know why?
Tell me what you're going to do for me, and I'll vote for you.
You know why? Because they take our money and party with it.
It's all money.
Strength in numbers.
It's all money.
That's why it's happened. It's the strength in numbers. How
did Obama get those 3 houses for $10 million and $12 million? Where did he get all that money? You only got $400,000 for being president.
That was donated. That was donated to him and his family.
Yeah, right. Right.
So, charity.
Like the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's another one.
That's where his money came from. So my understanding is that when a candidate runs for office, okay, they have a fund for the advertising that they get to spend.
Right.
Okay, people make donations. It goes into a fund. After they get out of politics, they get to keep that money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought they had to donate it or divvy it out.
You know what? I was under the understanding that they get to keep.
No, they get to keep that money.
They get to keep that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So that's where Obama's money came from. That's one of the many places, because he hasn't been out there doing a lot of speeches. He hasn't been really that active since being president. And quite honestly, in my opinion, when he was president, I didn't think he was that active either.
No.
Hey, these politicians, I mean, it's a hard job. Don't you think they deserve all this money?
No. I have a very good friend. I was the leader of the Boy Scout troop in Staten Island, and his name was Louis Tobacco. And this kid, from when he was in the troops, when he was 14 years old, said, I'm going to be president one day. And when we went to the White House and we visited the White House as a troop, he said he was a comedian. I mean, that's Jerry Lewis would be president. That's Louis. Except when he got in the White House. He says, don't mess around in here because this is going to be my house one day, right? Which we were kind of taken back because that's not Louis. Well, long story short, he went into politics, became a congressman in New York, was doing fantastic work. The second election, he had 80% he got in the vote. Everybody loved him until the Republicans said to him, all right, you have to start voting with all the rest of the... And he says, I can't vote for some of the things because that's not helping my constituents. He says, if you don't do that, you're not going to get anything done. He quit. He was so upset, he quit. My son is his best friend. And my son said, if you do what they want you to do, I will never talk to you again.
You got to play the game.
He quit. Yeah, he wouldn't play the game.
You got to play the game or you can't be there.
He's got a great job. He's now a big executive with a pharmaceutical company, but he's a great guy.
That's a good game.
He stood by his morals.
Yeah, that's the
and
swamp.
I give my hats off to the man.
That's why I say you can go into government as honest as the day is young, but the day you come out of it, you'll be as crooked as they are.
Right.
I think that's why they
do it.
I think Trump is the only one who's fighting maybe for the common man. I think that's why they're not interested in him.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Oh,
running
completely.
the show.
His biggest problem, he should have kept his mouth shut and take his phone away so he can't tweet.
Oh, that was his biggest problem is tweeting.
Yeah, his mouth.
I thought tweeting's what won him the election.
And I think the tweeting just represents the persona, the attitude that he takes in life with everything, and he unfortunately couldn't filter it. He couldn't separate it out and compartmentalize it into do this one, don't do that one, and you had to take him at face value for what he was. So you knew you had a fighter, and you knew you had somebody who was a hard worker, and he went out there and he did a lot of things, especially internationally, to help the United States. You know, Biden all of a sudden comes in, and the first thing we're going to do is he's going to rejoin the Paris climate initiative, and he's going to reinstate the World Health Order arrangement, and he's going, so so we've got this back and forth every time we have the president change over. But what we've got to watch out for from the conservative side is, we had 8 years of Obama. We've only had 4 years of Trump. And if they turn around and we get 4 years out of Biden and then potentially another 4 years out of a Democrat, we're going to, out of 20-year period, the Democrats are going to run 75, 80% of it. So it is going to start to have a long-term effect on the country and what takes place. So it's not as much about each individual term, but it's about what it does in the big picture of things.
That's right. That's right. So say Trump, say they override what? Maybe just the media's perception of what's going on. I think the official decision is not until December, but say they override it and Trump is the president. What does it look like after that? Just in the following weeks. Think it'll be chaotic?
Absolutely.
I was expecting riots if he won.
Burning stuff.
You think the country would be better off for 4 years if Biden just wins at this point?
No.
And especially not if they're able to wrangle the Senate in as well. So we've mostly been focused on Trump and Biden, but what's taking place in Georgia right now, as we talked about just before we got on the air, you have enough time as a person to move to the state of Georgia, register, and then vote in that runoff in January. That is not right. That should not be allowed.
So they're calling for people to move to Georgia?
Absolutely. Yes.
The Republicans and the Democrats, or just the Democratic Party?
I mean, I have to be honest. I have only seen the Democrats, but when you're watching the conservative side of reporting, you're only going to hear about the Democrats. I hope that the Republicans are willing to go to the same length of effort that the Democrats are.
Well, if you're going to play a game, it's like you said, if you're going to play a game, whoever's going to play that game the hardest,
yep,
they will win the game. And that's playing the game.
Yep. And it's not about, you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the fastest. But what you need is the determination, the mindset to work the hardest. If you go into a situation and say, I'm willing to outperform anybody else here, I'm willing to work harder, I'm willing to stay longer, I'm willing to give more energy, ultimately you will win. Okay, because that's a winner's attitude, and the pretty goes away, the lucky goes away, and the only thing that gets left is that person with that energy and that initiative, willing to go to whatever level it takes to win. Yeah. Okay, and that's what we felt we had with Trump. Yeah. And I feel that he's
we still might have that.
And we do. Yeah. We do. You're right. Not to take that away. But we're up against a monster. We're up against a machine. The swamp.
Would you even say this is kind of a would you even say this is kind of a demonic thing going on? Yeah. Like an evil right. On a whole nother level.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we got about 1 minute left, Paul.
Devil in disguise.
Any last thoughts? We probably got tens of thousands of people listening to us. We're going to do this again because we didn't have enough time with you today.
Okay.
But you got any last words you want to share with anybody?
No, it was nice coming in. It was something new, something I've been on TV before, but I've never been on a podcast like this. But nice. I'll do it again.
Well, I'm glad you're here. All right, deal. Yeah. Deal. Fulton, glad you're here. Thanks for keeping me up to date.
Hey, Dr. Scott, as always, enjoy the time we get to spend on the air and with people like Paul and discussing the difference that we make in people's lives every day with regenerative medicine. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate all of you for listening. Again, if you want to see these and other videos, just go to Dwyer Scott on the YouTube page, Dwyer Scott Podcast. And hey, Rick Roberts, Jensen, thanks, guys.
You got it.
We'll see everybody next week.